Hello, my name is Melissa Daniels, and this is Strabismus to Stereopsis, a channel all about having an eye turn and eyes that don't work together and how to get them working better. Today, we are going to talk all about reading with strabismus and some ideas for improving reading difficulties when you have strabismus. Be sure to go over to learn.strabismussolutions.com, and there you can find courses and quizzes, and you can sign up for a Zoom call with me. It's just so many different resources over there that can help you get started on your journey. We're all in different places, and so what's right for you might be different than someone else. So make sure to check out those resources and get some individualized help for what you are going through right now. All right, let's talk about reading. Now with strabismus, your eyes are a lot of times fighting against each other and maybe not both working at the same time. And many times, especially for somebody with double vision or an intermittent eye turn, they're getting some blurriness or double vision when reading, or getting very tired and fatigued when reading. There's just a lot of issues that can happen with reading. And I wanted to give you some practical tips that can help you, one, accommodate. So with where you're at right now and what you're dealing with right now, what you can do in this moment to make reading easier, and then some long-term strategies that can help not just like put a band-aid, like sometimes you need a band-aid, but also fixing the problem and how we can improve that reading. So the first thing, and this is totally a band-aid approach, but it can make the biggest difference, is changing the font size. So for me, this means I read most of my books on a Kindle, and that way I can increase font, because if I'm reading a book, I can't do that. And the reason is that with strabismus, a lot of times centrally, like the smaller things get, the more difficult it is to coordinate those eyes together. But if you're looking at like a large tree or a huge car or something, you're not seeing two cars, like that, larger items stay single. And it's when you get to really small things that they go more double. So the same is true with words. And of course, any words a lot of times can be difficult with strabismus, but if you increase that font size, it can make a huge difference. Choose a font that's more bold. You're going to be able to get better fusion and not have that blurriness. So you can even on a Kindle turn it sideways so that the words are going across in this way. They have a setting there where you can make the font bigger, turn it sideways. And especially for kids that are learning how to read, this is huge. You'll notice that, when they first start reading, the words are huge on the page, and the more advanced they become, the smaller those words get. And that's why a lot of kids start having a lot of problems with reading, and you start noticing those things around second, third, fourth grade when the words start getting smaller. That's when no longer are they able to, still get some fusion between their eyes. So increasing the font, huge help, great band-aid. It can definitely make a difference. Another thing that you can do kind of in the moment that's going to make a big difference is take a lot of breaks and make sure you are switching your focus to far away and then back to near. You're going near and far and going back and forth and practicing that. Your eyes, with strabismus, a lot of times we can get locked into like, okay, I'm looking this way. Now I'm looking here, and our brain doesn't want to come out of that. So practicing going near and far can help you get better at changing your focus and keeping your focus right on that book. All right, the third thing is to wear your glasses. A lot of times a doctor will prescribe maybe like a small plus lens, a plus 0.5, plus 0.75, plus 1 that you can wear when you're reading. And for me, I'm like, I'm not old. I mean, I'm getting there. I'm almost 40, but like, I don't need glasses. Like, I don't need glasses to read. And it doesn't really change the clarity. Like, it's already clear. Why do I need this plus lens? And what happens is the plus lens is doing more than just making it clear. It actually can relax those eyes and help relax them out, and that is going to give you extra stamina. So that's something that you can definitely talk to your doctor about, or if they've already prescribed glasses, make sure you're wearing them while you read. It's not just a crutch, and it's not something that like, oh no, I can't use this. It actually can really help relax your focusing system. And when that focusing system is relaxed, you're more likely to see single and not get that double vision. So it's going to make your stamina and your ability to read so much better. All right, so those are some things that you can do in the moment if you are, your eyes are tired, and those are some things that you can help improve where you're at right now. Now, long term, we want to talk about how do we get those eyes to coordinate better long term? So this is going to involve some vision therapy eye exercises. When you go to vision therapy, they're going to do a few different things to help you improve your reading. And one of my favorite things, and I love this visual, is to teach your eyes where to point. A lot of times, like I'm grabbing this first book that I see. If I'm reading my magic eye, like, okay, here's a page with words on it. If I'm reading this and I have what we would call esotropia or esophoria, that means that my eyes, instead of pointing, sorry, I need the book, pointing right at the words on the page, my eyes are actually pointing a little bit too far, too close to me. Or if I have exotropia or exophoria, that means that my eyes are too relaxed and my eyes are pointed clear back here, but I'm trying to read here. And when the eyes aren't pointed exactly where they need to be in space, what happens is that makes the words blurry because your eyes aren't pointed right and your eyes aren't focusing right. And so there's a few different things that are happening, but the idea is that you're not going to have the stamina. You're not going to be able to read efficiently because your eyes are not pointed exactly at the page. They're either in front of the page or behind the page. So they're going to do things to help you be more aware. One of my favorites is the Brock string. The Brock string gives you exact feedback about where your eyes are pointed in space. So you can think of, if you've done the Brock string, I have videos about it. So I'm not going to go into tons of detail about it, but it's a rope. And when I look at this yellow bead, I see one yellow bead and there's like 2 strings going into it and 2 strings going out. Now that's like the book. And that's what we want. We want me to look at the yellow bead and see the strings crossing right through the yellow bead. But some people will look at the yellow bead and it's actually crossing clear back here or clear up here. And that's kind of the same idea that when you're reading a book, your eyes are not pointed exactly at it. And so there's going to be a lot of different types of fusion exercises that you can do with just different 3D images and the Brock string, these different things that help you control those eyes, that system, so that your eyes are pointing exactly at the right spot to give you the best clarity and just the best fusion for reading. Well, that's one thing. Another thing that you're going to learn to do with your eyes is to control the focusing system. And it does get more difficult when you're older. Glasses definitely help, but for younger kids, just learning how to control the focus. It's the same idea. You know, we want to turn our eyes correctly and we want to focus our eyes correctly. Both of those systems have to be working really well together. So lots of work that they do in vision therapy with like lenses that you're learning how to change the focus of your eyes. Pretty amazing stuff. Another one that is really important for reading is just eye basics. Can you move your eyes and jump? Can you smoothly move across the line and then jump down? So I have a video all about eye calisthenics. Basically, we can call it eye stretches. Can you move your eyes in all directions? Can you jump from one item to another? Those are skills that you just need to have for reading. And if you work on that, that is going to improve reading. That's going to improve the coordination of your eyes and make reading easier. And then, of course, I have to talk about peripheral because peripheral is always king. One thing that you can do, again, we're reading a book. Our eyes are not necessarily knowing exactly where to point and focus to get the best clear picture. And one thing that you can do is engage your peripheral, and that gives your brain more clues about where your eyes need to be pointed. So when I'm reading a book, here are some different things I think about peripherally, just to kind of give you an idea of like when you're reading a book. And you could do this now and it would still help. When I'm looking at the words, but can I see the whole page kind of all at once, right? So that's like a gestalt awareness. Can I be aware of the whole page, even though I'm only making the very words I'm looking at clear? So that's the first thing, gestalt awareness, see the whole page all at once. Next, I'm going to try to divide my awareness so that I'm seeing, at the level of the book, I can also see the space here and I can see the wall behind me. I can divide my awareness and see like the ceiling and the floor peripherally, the walls peripherally, and I'm just kind of being aware of like where the book is in the room, right? Like here's a book, but it's inside of this whole room, and just being aware, like obviously I'm not like, you have to practice it a lot to make it become automatic so that you can focus on what you're reading. But at first it's, okay, I can do all those things. Instructions for converging your eyes to reveal the hidden 3D illusion, right? So I can read and I'm doing those things at the same time. And then the last is thinking of the distance between you and the book. How far away is it? If you reach out and touch it, you can even tap the page. That can help give you some like proprioception and like feel how far away it is. So those are just some ideas, opening that peripheral. You can learn a lot more in my Mastering Peripheral course, go into tons of details about these different techniques, but those things can make a huge difference, giving your brain more information about where to point those eyes. That's the main problem with strabismus. We don't know where to point our eyes, and we don't know how to point our eyes. We don't know how to coordinate them. And so that's something that has to be learned. It's not something that comes naturally when you have strabismus most of the time. Usually that's why we struggle. That's why the eyes turn. That's why you're getting double vision, right? Like all of those things are because we just don't know how to control those eye movements. And so learning how to do that is important, but give yourself some helps if you need them in the moment. Glasses, font size, those things are going to make a huge difference in the moment. So there are my tips for reading. If you have more, please put them in the comments. This is definitely not a comprehensive list. So try those things out. Let me know how it goes, and we'll see you in the next video.